You are more than able. You are more than able. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Live Again series. It's always a joy to come on live. Always a joy to inspire people, to help women live again. It's always a joy. Hi, Oba Maggie. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the Live Again series. In here, we help women live again, and some of the men, they enjoy some of the tips that we share. But the Live Again series is all about helping women live again, purposefully and profitably. And that's what this is about. Welcome, MJ. Welcome, Shefumiloba. This is the Live Again series. It's a series to help women live again in all aspects of life. We feature women living again to help women live again. Basically, you know, when life knocks you down, sometimes it's hard to get back up. You find yourself struggling to get back up. You find yourself stuck, right? So these series are supposed to really just help you see practical steps and insights that you can take and use and leverage to begin to live again. We have several guests that come on live, you know, just to share their stories. And it's always an amazing time. And tonight, I'm waiting for my guest. I've been waiting for her for quite a while now. I hope she shows up here in due time. But let me know where you are joining from. Let me know where exactly you are joining from in the world. Where are you joining from? What part of the world are you joining from? Hi sis. Coach YP in the building. Hi Beyond Mom Life. I'm waiting for my guest. Was here, so I'm waiting for her. I see Obamagi from Lagos, Nigeria. That's where I am as well. Lagos is winning, oh. Please, somebody else should talk so that it's not look like it's a Lagos affair. Banji Elizabeth, let us know where you're joining from. So at least it will not just be Lagos. But hi, my fellow Lagosians. It is finished. It's a Lagos affair. Tonight is a Lagos affair. Welcome everyone. Welcome. So I'm waiting for my guest. I'm waiting for my guest to come on live. But basically, my name is Enifome, and I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. I help broken, abused, and distressed women live again. I'm very passionate about helping founders, leaders, visionaries, you know, find their inner spark and find their inner strength to be able to move from a place of, you know, merely existing to truly living. I personally believe that helping a woman live again is helping a generation live again. And when a woman doesn't live again, it affects the entire lineage. It's not just her, right? In the news today, I saw two different news that made me say, if only women would just choose to live again, right? The first one, it was, I think, a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old that died trying to save his mother from her domestic violence boyfriend. Yeah, while trying to save his mom, he died. That's the first news I saw today. The second one, a woman abandoned her toddler for 10 days and the child died. Now, a lot of times, these women are not okay. They are not. And so as women, we tend to want a package, because if a man is not okay, you can mostly easily see it from his demeanor, right? He may look tattered. He may look like, oh, you know, he's not happy or something. But women have a lot of things to use to cover up. There are wigs. There is, you know, there are shades. There is makeup. There's eyelash. There is a microblade. There's a lot to use to cover. So a lot of women are shining on the outside and dying on the inside. And the truth is, with time, those people that are connected to those women would suffer. Just like the child who died, saving his mom from domestic violence, he died, right? And the boyfriend that was even perpetrating the crime to the mother is actually alive today. The other child who was abandoned by his mom as a toddler. I mean, when a child is a child of an unfortunate woman, and when I say unfortunate, I mean the woman that has refused to live again, everything around her will be affected, including her children, friends, well-wishers, boyfriend, colleagues, everyone. It's sad. Get help. There's no more excuse. There's help everywhere. There's Google, there's YouTube, there's Live Again series. There's a lot of, just get help. Stop trying to appear a certain way to the world, because when the results appear, we will see it that you're not truly living before. So why the pretense? Whew. My guest is here, so let me just bring her on. All this work, because generational trauma is very real. It's so real that even when you think you've escaped, those coming after you, they're just waiting to pick up from where you stopped. So it's so important. It is so critical to live again. It's critical to bounce back after adversity. It's not enough to say, oh, I went through adversity, so let me just stay here. And then every time you're rehearsing your pain, you're talking about your pain and what you're going through. Yes, what you went through is valid, but you need to move past it. And that's why the Live Again series is critical. And that's why the work that we do is really critical. I see my guest is trying to join, but it looks like there's network problems. Hello, everyone. My name is Emi Fome. I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. In case you're wondering that you can see me and you can't see my guests, so that you will not be wondering, okay, what is going on here? Yeah, this is the Live Again series. It's a series to help women live again in all aspects of life. So if you've been knocked down by life once, twice, three times, in here, you're going to find practical steps to help you live again. Chinaza, if you can hear me, please go off and come back, because your screen is rolling. Your screen keeps rolling, so you can go off and come back, because I'm not seeing you. I'm just seeing a black screen that is rolling. Please, if you can see me, let me know what you can see on the screen. Welcome, everyone from Chinaza Squad. Welcome, welcome. My name is Eni Fome. I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. We help broken, abused, and distressed women live again. And this is the Live Again series. In here, you will get practical steps to live again, right? So please let me know if you can see Chinaza's screen and what you can see, because my screen, I can see my face and I can see Chinaza rolling. Okay, she's gone off now. I'm sure she's going to come back. So welcome, everyone. Welcome. Let me know where you're joining from while I wait for her to join again. Let me know where you're joining from. 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 Hi, I can see all of you. Hi, hello, 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 hello. Hello, this is the Live Again series. I've pinned it in the chat so that you can know what this is about. Okay, Chinaza is trying to come on again. So let's hope that it's smooth this time around. Woo, hello.
Hey.
I just saw your screen rolling. I'm like, oh my goodness. But thank God you're back here. Welcome, everyone from Chinaza Squad. Welcome, 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 welcome. What's the majority of your audience? Are they Gen Zs, millennials, and, you don't know?
It's a 50-50.
50-50. Okay, nice. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Emi Fome. I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. We help broken, abused, and distressed women live again purposefully and profitably. We also have a shelter where we house some of these women, depending on the case. But basically, our goal is to help them live again, no matter the adversity, if it's abuse, whatever it is. As long as it's a painful or difficult situation, we're there to really just help that woman do the inner work and help her live from the inside out. Okay, my guest today, oh my goodness. I have a lot to say about this lady. I don't even know if I'm safe, if I can, if it is okay for me to call you a girl. Because you're forever girly, so I don't quite know if it's okay to call you a girl, but I don't like people calling me a girl, even though I'm almost 40. I don't mind, because it's an achievement. You look younger than your age. Oh, you look young. I'm like, thank you, But anyways, my guest today, My guest today is the phenomenal, amazing Chinaza Favour. She is a visionary, passionately invested in empowering individuals, particularly the youth, to embrace their full potential and aspire to the highest version of themselves possible. She is committed to helping people find meaning to life and adopt daily habits that lead to a truly fulfilling life, transcending professional and career successes. Chinaza is a highly skilled communications expert and founder of Gemspert University, an institution dedicated to human refinement with particular focus on communications, leadership, and etiquette. Passionate about mental health advocacy, Chinaza seizes every opportunity to raise awareness and destigmatize therapy and other forms of mental health interventions. She firmly believes that hope for the world is within reach when individuals commit to promoting the well-being, which is why we're here, of others through kindness, patience, forgiveness, and a non-judgmental mindset. Please help me welcome my guest, the beautiful Chinaza Favour.
Thank you.
Naturalista, like we forget all this we go. It's natural that is under.
My goodness, thank
So
you so much
welcome.
for having me. First of all, I have to say that I really love the way you talk.
Oh,
Gosh,
thank
so
you.
fluent. No wonder your name is Eni for Miss Speaks. Like,
Thank
speaks so
you.
well. I admire that. Thank you. Hi,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Thank
Thank you for
you.
having me.
Interestingly, I was a panelist in Lagos State IWD. I think it was last week, and I posted the clips on my page, and people just kept saying, "I love your voice." I'm like, okay, thank you,
Of
thank you for
course.
liking my voice. Okay, so I have the honor of having Chinaza here today, and it's really beautiful. One of the reasons why I brought you on is that people like me, let me even say a bit of my story. So if you just see my face for the first time, right? I was that child that was bold and fiery and knew what she wanted, the kind of child that could ask questions
Yeah.
and not fearless. That was the word, fearless. I know they grieve for anybody. You understand? That's who I was, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, I began to hear you talk too much, shut up, is it only you? Why you talkative? That kind of thing. So I started becoming very timid. I had low self-esteem, inferiority complex, and all those kinds of things. Along the line, later on in life, I experienced abuse. And it seemed like life had always tried to silence me one way or another and prevent me from speaking. But the main crux of it is I didn't find my purpose on time. I was not among those people that say, "Oh, I knew what I wanted to be by the age of 20." No, I didn't. I found out when I was almost 30 years old. Like, I didn't even know what the word was. Hey, purpose. Hey, okay, it exists. Do you get it? So when I see people that have found their purpose, their calling, they're walking in their path, they're young, to be very honest, I'm full of admiration for such people. And I try to support them as much as I can. Because most people, in fact, a lot of people don't know their bearing at some particular times of their lives. And I was such person who did not find herself early. So I think I said that to say that the reason I brought you here is it can seem like, oh, life is only happening to those people that are maybe in their 40s or their almost 40s, or those are the ones that life adversity is happening to. And then for the people that are young, they're not going through anything. What do you want to go through? I beg you, that kind of thing. So I wanted like a mixture. We've had all sorts of people come on the Live Again series, but I wanted a mixture because whether we like it or not, there are many young people that are not living a lot, a lot. And it's been coming to me like it has been coming to me that a lot of them need to heal. And I just believe that this is a session that God is going to use to heal a lot of people, especially young people. So I'm going to ask you the first question, which is, what does the term live again mean to you? When you hear live again, what jumps at you? What is that? How does it sound to you? Like, what does it mean to you?
Well, but before I say anything, I'd like to also say thank you for the work that you do. Helping women
Thank
to
you.
find their purpose again, to live again. No, Josh, I was not calling you. Thank you very much. That's my baby. I was calling.
Okay.
Okay. Um, So when I hear live again, there's only one word that comes to mind: rebirth.
Mm.
Rebirth. You know, um, the fact that there is not just live but again means that there was a dying, but then there is a rebirth. So I really am very drawn to the phoenix. It's a yeah, it's a mystical bird. I love mythology a lot, but
Mm.
the creature that has stood out for me is the phoenix. And why did it stand out for me? Um, because of the fact that this bird subjects itself to death, and
Mm.
out of its ashes, like it burns itself to ashes, but out of those ashes comes a new phoenix, comes a new bird. So um I don't really see death as the end of anything. If anything, I
Mm.
see death as the beginning of a new
Phase.
phase of life. And yes,
Mm.
so even normally, even with the death, normal actual death, I'm not afraid of it. Sometimes when I talk about it, my friends and I tell us that you are too occupied with thoughts of death. I'm like, hey, it's something good to look out, not to look forward to, actually, because it is not negative. Death is just the beginning of a new phase, just an entry into a new
Mm.
portal. So when I
Mm.
hear this again, I just hear rebirth. The fact that you were dead means that okay, you have been in that dark to come
Mm.
to light. So it's
Oh
simply rebirth
wow.
for me. That's the
Oh
word that
wow.
comes to my mind.
That is absolutely powerful. It is wow. And I like where you said the phoenix subjects itself to death. Sometimes we're
Yes,
waiting for something to kill us. We're waiting for one big thing to happen so that we can,
yeah,
say, oh, I had a near death experience. Oh, this thing was so, that kind of thing. And you said the phoenix subjects itself to death.
yes,
Wow,
yes.
that's powerful. And interestingly, I woke up this morning with a song by Pastor Chris Delvan Guamna. Out of the ashes of my dying today, I see the
Mm,
breaking of a brand new day, in which the
yes,
name of the Lord alone is glorified. And it's interesting that beauty can actually come out of ashes. And that's
yes,
really how God works.
yes,
That's how God
yes,
works. But I see
yes,
so many people that are afraid to die because they feel like when they die, they're going to lose everything. And you saying this, that death, you don't see death as the end of anything. You actually see death as no, you don't see that as the end. You see it as the beginning of a new phase. It's probably the end
yes.
of one phase and the beginning of another phase. You said an entry into a new portal from dark to light. That is interesting
But
because
the interesting part, the even more interesting part is we can learn a lot about human existence from nature. We are
that's
we are
true.
all part of nature, just that we are, for those who believe in evolutionary theory, we're just higher animals, right?
Mm,
um so you look at trees, you look at birds, they are all living um their purpose. So if you look at a seed, we say, oh God, make me fruitful. God, I want to grow, I want to this, I want to that. But do you really understand that you're asking for death? Because when you are planted, you are a seed. When you are planted, you enter darkness. So, but that's not where it ends. You decay.
yeah.
You decay. A tree cannot grow if the seed fails to subject itself to decay.
Mm,
If it does not decay, it cannot spring up. So we always ask for growth, we always ask for increase and all that, but really it requires um, death to self, death to the things that we are used to, death to the familiar, for us to be launched into a new part, a new phase of our life. So um, live again is simply rebirth, reinvention, reintroduction, you know. I said goodbye to. There's this song by Tasha Cobbs and Todd. You know, it's this beautiful song that it was my theme song for 26 last year. By the way, I'm turning 27 in a few days.
Come on.
So, the man said that in the scriptures of, you know, when we read the scriptures that talks about God bringing the Israelites out of Egypt, right? We always look at how God parted the Red Sea for them and the glorious miraculous things he did. But we don't realize that before God gave them a hello to their Canaan land, he gave them a goodbye to Egypt.
Hey, come on.
The hello could not have happened if there was no goodbye. You know, so we keep asking God for new things, new beginnings, but you don't want the old to die. How is that going to happen? You want to get out of this phase of your life into a more beautiful and glorious one, but you don't want the old one to die because you're too familiar with it. You have to first of all say goodbye now, even if it is not out of your will, like the phoenix that will subject itself to death. Even if it is external circumstances that are subjecting you to the needed death for your next level, you have to be grateful for that. You know, because you know, this death thing is a thing of the mind. It's a thing of perspective. How are you looking at this? That will determine the results that you have, whether you continue death or you rise. You know, into a new phase.
I love this angle that you've come with, because first of all, you don't see death as, hey, death, you know, and that is one thing that prevents people from dying. A lot of people are walking dead. So the thing is either you subject yourself to death or you become a walking dead. By walking dead, you're just existing. People look at you, they're like, oh, this person is leaving. But you know that you're a walking dead. That you're literally a walking dead. Like you wake up every day, there is hardly motivation. You don't know why you're even on earth. Many times you feel empty. Sometimes you feel lost. A lot of times you're confused. You don't even know what you're doing. You're just really you know, going with the flow, which is very dangerous because the flow can take you to where you don't need to be. So God doesn't want us to be walking dead. God doesn't want us to be existing. God did not do all the wahala that he did with Jesus Christ for us to now come and be managing life and be accepting nonsense. But it takes a level of death to be able to cross over to the other side. It takes a level of death, and after you die, it takes dying daily, being conscious that there is an old version of me that needs to go for a new version of me to emerge. And this is what is going to take me. It may not be easy, but it's worth it, especially if you have a vision for the other side. Because many times the reason why we can't let go of the old is because that we're so in love with the old. And we don't, and the vision of the new is not compelling enough to drag us out of the old. So we say things like, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that, I would love to be this, I want to be that, but we don't really want what we say we want. And like one of my mentors, Felaji Rotoye, says, life will not give you what you want, life will give you what you really want. And so if you're not willing to pay the price, and you say you want something, we will know if you really want it by the price you're willing to pay for it, right? So thank you for answering that question. Let's not be afraid of death, because dying is what will help you live again. Actually, you die to live again. So don't be afraid of death. Think about it. What is the thing that needs to die now? What is that thing in me, or what is that thing that I have, or that thing that is around me that needs to die for the new me to emerge? It's still a new year, so it's a good time to live again. Okay, next question. Have you ever been knocked down by life? And what practical steps did you take to begin to live again or to bounce back?
Have I ever? I think the question should be rephrased to how many times have you been knocked down?
Honestly, every time I ask this question, I know the answer, because there's no human being in this world. There's not more people that say, oh, soft life since I was born, I've been living on the cloud. You never know. So I just say, okay, have you ever? But remember, I'm like, is there anybody that has never been knocked down? But yeah, take it away.
Um, I've been knocked down several times. Uh, but part of one of them is one that I'm currently even going through, right? And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. I'm not afraid of my story. That's one thing that people should know about me. Chinaza Favour is not that lady that will mention or use Mary Magdalene as an example when she is the living Mary Magdalene, or use someone distant as an example when you're looking at me. I'm the perfect example you need because I'm closer to you, so it will make more sense to you than a distant story.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I just got to garner any pity. Chinaza got married at 21, got separated at 22, and is currently going through a divorce, right? And she has a 5-year-old. That is me. Now, at the age that I got separated, it was a big blow to me because, I mean, you are young, Chinaza. You are young. What are you even? How are you going to recalibrate your life from here? I left without a single kobo in my account.
Wow.
The 9-month-old.
Wow.
But look at me. I'm thriving. Am I not? I'm thriving. I'm a
Wow.
lot better than where I was. Do you get? So, but it was not an easy process for me to get here. In fact, this is not where I want to be. It's still a very long journey. But when I left, I was broken. I was shattered. I had attempted suicide 3 times before I decided to leave. So I left with a lot of rough edges. I was broken. So you know a broken glass is very rough. If you touch it, it's going to pierce you. And I didn't realize it. I did not know. Because I tried to sweep everything under the carpet. And this is what I don't want people to do. When you look like
you're not going, you're just perfect, like nothing is happening.
When you have a hurt, acknowledge it. Don't say, oh, I'm fine. You're not fine.
You're not,
Because what you do not realize is that you will go through life with those rough edges you're not even aware of, hurting people. You are going to meet a lot of people now, but because of how pointed your edges are and sharp, without realizing it, you'll be cutting them. You'll be saying things that you don't even mean because you don't even realize that you are saying all those things. You'll be exhibiting characteristics, attitudes, behaviors that only hurt people that come close to you. So when I left, I knew that I was sad, I was down. So I worked on myself because I lost my self-confidence. I mean, not my ex was a good man.
I can relate.
I'm not talking down on him in any way, But I had my own demons that I was fighting. Do you get me? So I had to do the work myself. I left without being able to look myself in the mirror. There's this song by Taylor Swift. She said, I'll stare directly at the sun, but never look in the mirror. I'd rather stare at the sun than look in the mirror. And that captures me in that phase. You know how bright, how painful staring at the sun is? It is painful. The sun is really bright. But I'd rather stare at that sun than see myself in the mirror. I'd rather do any other thing than confront who I was. But then I realized that you're responsible for a little human being. And if you don't heal, you're going to bleed on this little child.
On the
And
child,
you're not going to be happy with what he's going to become when he grows up. Because he will have to deal with being raised by a broken mother. And parenting is a gift I don't take for granted. Like the way I cherish parenting, the way I cherish the gift of motherhood even sometimes my sister will be like, Chinaza, are you the only mother here? Because I don't understand. It's as if I'm not a mother. She's a mother of 4 boys, because of how seriously I take parenting. So I realized that I'm responsible for this boy, and he's a whole generation in one. So the way
that's it.
I take care of him, the way I nurture him, will determine how he's going to show up in his own generation. So for me to be the parent that God has made me to be for him, I have to heal. And I confronted my demons. I started. That was even when I got to know about personal development and all and whatnot. I learned about therapy, because even when I was still in the marriage, I wanted therapy, but it was really out of reach. I couldn't find any therapist in Abuja at the time to counsel me and all that. That is why I am very big on therapy. I'm studying psychology right now because of that too. That's why I'm very big on therapy. Because you say you want to go for therapy, they're like, are you mad? Have you lost your mind? But we don't even realize that the way you go to see a doctor when you are having a headache or have a pain in your body is where you should see a therapist when you are, having some challenges in your mental health and all that. Yes, you should constantly check in on yourself. With your mental
Very
health.
important.
So I did the work, but the first step was me acknowledging that I was hurt.
Very important.
Acknowledge, because you cannot change what you have not acknowledged. You cannot improve on a weakness that you have not acknowledged that you have. You cannot heal from the hurt you have not acknowledged, told yourself the truth that I'm hurting.
I'm hurting.
Went through a breakup, and you're like, it's fine.
Really?
No,
Odeshi, hard girl.
You're not finding anything. And if you don't take care of that for the rest of your life, you're going to be bleeding on others. It is time does not heal that. So
time
the first
doesn't
step,
heal
I
anything.
acknowledged
Is what you do that
hurt.
heals it.
Yes, I acknowledged my hurt, and I sought solutions. Most of them were the work I had to do by myself, actually, because I'm the kind of person that takes responsibility for everything that happens in my life. If it's going to be good, it's in my power. If it is not going to be good, it's in my power. So I started watching some videos, listening to some audios, committed to healing. And that would look like a lot of things to different people. The path I took to healing may not be the path another person would take to healing, because what happened to us differ, and the approach that will work for you would differ. But for me, I have to go see a therapist. In fact, in 2022, it was so bad. I said, Chinaza, if you don't see a therapist this month, you're going to run mad. I went, and that was the best decision I made for myself, because I did not realize it also, but I was taking the blame for everything that happened in my marriage. And while I played the role, because when people get divorced, they're like, oh, it's your fault, it's everybody's fault. You just have to know which part was your fault. So seeing that therapist and continuing to see her, in fact, our first session was she helping me. Of course, she listened to me. She listened to me rant and rant and rant and rant and rant. And when I was done, she was like, are you done? I said, yes, I'm done. She said, okay, now let us dissect the story you've just shared. Okay, this was the part that was your fault. You cannot take responsibility for another person's fault. You cannot take the blame, but you can take responsibility, right? So this was this person's fault. This was this person's fault. Are we good? Now, this is the part that you have to take responsibility for. All of them. You're not blaming yourself for everything now, but you are taking responsibility for the response you give or you have to those things that happen. So we created a plan that works for me. I don't see her every time, all the right now, but once in a while I go check in on her and check in with her, and we make sure that everything is okay. So and part of of the steps that I took also was ensuring that every single day, like even till now, at the end of each day, I audit my day in my head. Okay, so let's start from the time you woke up. What did you do? The people that you met today, what was your response? Of course, you cannot control everything that happens to you. If how many can you control? You cannot control the way somebody talks to you. You cannot control the way somebody drives on the
Yeah.
road. But what was your response to those things? It is by my response that I will know whether I'm making progress or not. And I dare not justify my response
Yeah.
because it means I've
It has
not grown.
to be
If you can
objective. Yeah.
trigger me to the point where I have to go back on my own progress, then I've not grown. I've not grown. So I have come a long way. And when it comes to also the emotional aspects, I shut everybody out. I built this invisible wall that I did not even know
Wall.
was there until a friend told me, Chinaza, see, let me tell you, you love deep connections, but you are the concrete wall you have built, even a nuclear bomb cannot break it.
Penetrate.
And if you really want this bond, you have to start bringing those walls down. And that's what I started to do. I started seeing people for who they are because I was seeing them from the lens of my past,
Your
from the lens
past.
of
Yeah.
things that I had.
What you
So
went
I
through.
started to, yes, I started to, okay, I'm going to deal with you as an individual, regardless of what gender you are, what I have been through. I'm just going to deal with you based on how you relate to me and what I see
Yeah.
you exhibit. And that has really helped me to form really meaningful connections now that I don't even get to remember, okay, in my previous relationship or in the other time somebody did this and that, because I'm dealing with you as an individual and I'm learning to forgive and let go on the go. That has really
This
helped me.
has been powerful. And oh my goodness, adversity matures us. I remember it matures us. It makes us, especially when you learn from what you go through, you become better for it. If you don't learn, then that means that thing that's not, I always say something that don't let pain use you. Instead, use pain.
Yes.
If pain uses you, you become bitter. If you
Yes.
use pain, you become better.
Yes.
Because pain
That's right.
can make you, pain can mar you, pain can destroy you, pain can build you. It's really what it's like having a knife, right? Somebody can use that knife to kill someone. Someone can use that knife to prepare sweet food for someone else to eat. So it really
Yes.
depends on what you want to use the things that have happened to you for. At the end of the day, when they say that, when life, gives you lemons, make lemonades, it sounds cliche, but the truth
Yeah.
is, what that quote is saying is use the things that life has dealt you to make something out of it, right? Make something out of it. And I would say here for someone listening to us that the best person I know that takes lemons and makes them lemonades, that knows how to mix it and how to take those broken pieces and put them together into something beautiful is actually God. That's the person that does it. Because it's sometimes you don't even have the answers to some of the questions that you have, right? Because sometimes you begin to wonder, I was a good girl. I remember when I went through abuse, one of the biggest questions on my head was, me? Abuse? Like, because that kind of girl, I'm like, only. That kind of thing, like, you they do. Can't you just relax? Everybody else is having fun. Relax. I'm like, no, this thing is bad. They're like, oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
baby. Only. And then you now go through abuse and you now be asking yourself that I was not sharp or something. And then you just have so many questions
This is
in your
funny
head.
because one of the questions I asked God, I was also abused for 9 years, right?
Wow.
And um, and then when I now went through the divorce, finally, no, when I got separated, in the heat of the moment, one of the questions I was asking God was, why me? Like, why me? What did I do? what did an 8-year-old do to deserve being molested and continually molested for that long, you know? And then the response I got was, if God, like almost like he was telling me, if I could allow my son to go through Calvary, who are you? And then he made me understand that this is kind of, it still doesn't make sense to me, because why? I'm still asking why. It's you know, he made me understand that some pain we go through are not for us, but so that we can be in a better state.
Audience, yeah.
To help
for your audience.
others that will come.
Yeah.
The level of empathy I have right now, I would not have had it if not for the experiences I have had. I would not really be into mental health if not for what I have been through. I really may not understand when people say, oh, I was abused, I was this. I might be part of those who are like, are you the first person to be abused and all that? But now I understand.
You understand
that
better.
I understand better and I can relate
better.
So it was almost as if what I went through, because it's not everybody that goes through that will come out as strong as I did.
That we
have the
survive.
have the boldness to talk about it.
Yeah.
But for those who are coming, like it's almost like, Chinaza, you have this light, and I need you to go through this so that those other people that will come after you
will not go through
your light and find their way.
Yeah.
So it makes so much sense, because if Jesus had not died, we would not have had salvation.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So I try to find the reason for every pain that I go through, the deeper reason, the purpose for this pain. And once I get it, it's like, okay, good. In Igbo language, we sing this song, Ebo Masirigi, like it's since it pleases you that it to be like this, I'm learning the lessons that I need to learn, because you know, I'm a Christian and I'm not afraid and ashamed to say that the Bible says that He will not allow what is bigger than us to come to us. Yeah. So I must not disappoint that faith He had in me to allow such to come to me. I just have to be strong enough to squeeze the juice out of that pain and make things beautiful.
Yeah, because indeed there is juice, and we need to know that there is actually, you know, when we say things like, when life throws you lemons, make lemonades, it's not cliche. It's a conscious call for you to look at the lemons that life has given you. Try to examine those lemons. As you're listening to us right now, begin to examine the lemons that life has thrown at you, right? Is in the area of business, is in the area of someone is speaking here. She's your namesake, Chinaza. She says, I want to read her what she wrote. She said, I'm going through emotional pains, and all my childhood has been horrible due to some memories I can't forget. And it has made me not to be able to relate with people up till now, and I don't know how to stop it, right? Let's try to help you now, Chinaza. If you're going through emotional pain, it's a sign that you're hurting. It's a sign that you're not happy. You have to acknowledge, and thank God that you've been able to acknowledge that you're going through emotional pains. Your childhood has been horrible. We apologize for that. We apologize for all that you've gone through. For